Hey everybody, Brendan here, and happy Motivational Monday to you. I must confess I have been on a birthday sabbatical. I have been attending to my startup and AI innovation adventures, so I look forward to getting back on track and sharing those things with you. But while I was away, I had the opportunity to reconnect with some of my passion activities. In this case, we're talking about music production, DJing, because I find that I'm a much more enjoyable person to be around, less stressed when I have music or when I live next to water. So what I discovered through that experience is I enjoyed the learning process. We always need to be open-minded to learning new things, but just as much as learning requires an open mind, I had to rethink decisions and positions that I had taken in the past. When I specified my computer, I assumed that I would not be doing video editing because I just don't have the patience for that traditional video editing workflow. That has improved significantly now that video editing software includes AI, which you guys would know because I've posted those music videos and various other video content here on social media channels. That said, over the weekend, I have only 16 gig of RAM in that particular computer because I figured that was enough for the things that I would be doing. And as I'm juggling music production and video production, I did experience a little bit of lag. It wasn't super bad, but I noticed it. It's still to be seen whether it was internet bandwidth related or if it was truly the hardware. I shut it down and then came back later on in the evening and my problems seemed to resolve. So I'm not sure if cleaning the caches and restarting the computer alleviated the issue or if it was that I was experiencing lag due to lack of bandwidth, because it's been so hot that if you're not on vacation, I suppose most people are probably chilling on the computer, sucking up the bandwidth. Anyways, this notion of rethinking is something that is very important for us to grow and evolve as people. In fact, Steve Jobs had a bit of a similar situation. For the longest time, he was adamant that he wasn't going to do an iPhone because it wasn't a good user experience. It wasn't until the opportunity came along to make something that was like a little tablet computer that you could hold in the palm of your hands that the idea excited him and that he was willing to work with his team that had been trying to convince him to do a phone for the longest time. Because in stark contrast, the way that Steve Jobs did it, where you could make it your own experience, you could pick the type of tech that would benefit you, that you were interested in, compared to the way that Microsoft, whose initial smartphones and smartphones in general really have never taken off. Initially, Microsoft tried to stick whatever version of Windows, it was the one before 7, that they were using at the time. They tried to stick a light version with that required a lot of navigation into sub menus into an iPhone. It was the version that had that little start button in the bottom left-hand corner from the standard configuration. Granted, you could move the start bar around, and then you had to pop open the little drawer on the left and pick which options you wanted, and then you could find programs or go into settings and do various things. It's not a bad workflow for a desktop computer with somebody using a mouse, but it's not a great user experience when you've got a small screen and your styluses are the things that are on the end of your palm. That said, this notion of rethinking helps people to accomplish great things. So as you are working this week, be cognizant of your own predispositions and the positions you've taken in the past and the decisions that you've made, and be open-minded. Learn new things, rethink the decisions you've made in the past, and try to grow and evolve as a person. Basically, when it comes down to it, it's like Ms. Frizzle said at one point, you gotta take chances, make mistakes, be willing to get messy, to basically mess around and find out what is possible and take yourself in a very positive direction. So that is the positive message for this week. I hope you have a really good one.